School exclusions are on the rise. Presently in the UK, school exclusions of children and young people are the highest they've been for over 2 decades. We have over 7,000 children and young people in the UK who've been excluded from schools. They have been excluded from schools. They have been moved from one school to another. They have been excluded from schools and put into an alternative provision, which is normally a pupil referral unit, or they're off-rolled and they're at home. They've been asked to stay at home to do their education at home while the school decides what to do with them. Now, we can no longer deny that there's a link between school exclusions and the rise in gang crime, knife crime, gun crime. We as a community can't deny that, but the government also can't deny that. My name's Claudine Dewberry and I run an organisation called Taking Positive Steps. Taking Positive Steps works with children and young people who are about to be excluded, who have been excluded, and who are actually in the pupil referral units. Presently, the children and young people who've been excluded from schools have been labelled. They've been labelled as bad children, they've been labelled as uncontrollable children and manageable. But children are being excluded for simple things like running down the corridor, for failing to hand in their homework on time, for turning around in the classroom to have a conversation with their friends. Is this a reason to exclude a child from school? Is this a reason to exclude a child and say that their behaviour is unmanageable? In the last 3 or 4 years, we have seen the rise in youth crime go through the window. Children as young as 14 are being charged with murder. Children as young as 16 are being charged with murder. And that's a lot of the children that we work with at Taking Positive Steps. And recently, those children and young people who are charged with this crime came home to my doorstep. My family have been impacted by this youth crime. My cousin lost his life a couple of weeks ago to knife crime. And while the pain for my family is undescribable, the pain for that young man who's 16 and allegedly committed this murder is even more. Why? Because he's lost his life. But we ask, why was he on the streets? Why was he not in school? Why was there not a team around him? Because once again, the school system has failed him. The school system excluded him. The school system threw him out to the pupil referral units. There was a young man recently in Shackle Lane, 15, who lost his life to knife crime. Why was he on the streets? Why was he not in education? Because the school system once again had failed him. The school system put him out to pasture in the pupil referral units. Now, they say that these children are bad and that they're uncontrollable. But you send them out and you send them into the pupil referral units. We know the pupil referral units are mini prisons. We definitely know that they are the children who are on the school to prison pipeline. So why do we continually let the government get away with this? This is our children and this is our community, and we need to be accountable for our children. Today, the Timson report is published. The Timson report is a report that was commissioned last year to look at the exclusion of children and young people. If you've got a child in the education system or who is coming up to be in the education system, or even more importantly, who are about to leave primary school and go to secondary school, this report will be important to you. My name is Claudine Dewberry and we're on real time. Real talk, real information. Keep following us as we keep you informed of the school exclusions and how our children are impacted.